What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Super Show.
Good morning.
Sorry we're a little late. We had a bunch of operational meetings and stuff that we had to do this morning that was like time sensitive.
The fun parts of owning and running a business. Speaking of the business, if you guys want to see our live event schedule, our merch store, or anything about our store, you can check us out at gamersheavenpnw.com. We also do have affiliate links for Durable. If you ever want to use AI to make a website, we have a thing for you. So check that out in the comments on YouTube, or the intro on YouTube.
If you go to durable.co and use code GHEAVEN25, that will get you 25% off of your Durable subscription, and you support the show, right? And so, you know what I think is good for is like if you're a blogger or you want to start a site and you don't have the cash for web development like right up front, because that's expensive.
Or if you don't remember the HTML from your MySpace days, it's always nice to have a bot write the code for you.
So this is one of those things. Yes, it's 25% off at durable.co and use code GHEAVEN25. So.
We also do have a partnership with G Fuel. If you ever wanted to go and get some of that tasty, tasty energy, it is 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 300 milligrams of caffeine on their cans at least. It's a great way to jumpstart your day. Just don't drink 2 in a day because you will explode. If you go to their website, it is Gamers Heaven for the code, and you will get a percentage off of your sale and also help support our store as well.
All right. Let's start with the funniest one. By the way, if you're joining us on Twitch or YouTube, if you have any topics you want us to hit at the end of the show, stuff you want to see us discuss, go ahead and throw them into the comments thingy. Use your channel points. You can highlight messages and request topics, and we will get to those toward the end of the show. First topic today, though. So week before, we talked about the fact that Pokemon had run out of cards in Japan.
Yeah, so they ran out of cards in Japan due to, printing just not being able to fulfill. And now we're seeing in the news that basically they are restricting sales of Pokemon cards to children. They're doing ID checks now to make sure that adults are not buying and reselling Pokemon. So that the kids can actually play Pokemon.
Well, and specifically because obviously Gamers Heaven wants to bring Akihabara to America. There's just some specific stores in the Akihabara district.
In the Akihabara district
that are restricting it. They're like, look, adults, you're done for right now. We want the children to play the game. This is hilarious that they had to get to this point.
It's so interesting to me, especially because, this game has grown up with us as kids to adults now. And so now if this happened here, right, we would only be able to allow kids to buy cards.
So to get specific on you, Hareruya 2, the self-proclaimed world's largest Pokemon trading card specialty store in the Akihabara, tweeted on April 30th that it will have an allocated section of Pokemon specifically for young adults. This special allocation will run out as soon as each pack is sold, and you are limited to 10 packs a day. Adults, including guardians and parents, are barred from buying these cards in the store, as Taylor said. We'll check IDs to confirm age.
That means Grandma can't buy any Pokemon cards for her grandkids, though. I mean, I guess Grandma could just give the kids money.
Yep.
So it's just so interesting to me how we are trying to navigate like distribution and allocation in various different places, and it is incredible that we have come to the point where we have to check IDs for Pokemon cards.
Yes, and scalpers are a problem, and actually this was one of the things that came up with the new Games Workshop leaks, or not leaks, announcements this weekend, allocation for Magic. It gets really, really silly.
Yes.
How bad the scalping situation is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember seeing the posts back in the lockdown days, but there were people who were like literally stacking up certain products, including toilet paper, in their garage so that they could sell it at a more exorbitant price. And it is, I know that because of the system that we live in, it is anything to make a buck because we need to be able to survive, but also, what the hell, guys?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't like I've never liked the concept of do anything to make a buck.
No.
Right. And while from a short-term financial standpoint, that's kind of the way to go.
Yes. Sorry, I wanted to be Totoro today.
That's fine. Comfort Totoro.
Comfort Totoro.
I love. Again, I understand why people want to do that, but you really are, especially with things like Pokemon cards.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
yes, I know it's an investment, but also, why would you take that from the kids?
It's
for your own personal gain.
And here's the thing too, and this goes back to what happened with the Aftermath stuff last week from March of the Machine.
Yep.
This goes to Pokemon. Pokemon and Magic have let this get out of control completely. They have completely relinquished all control over the distribution channels to these other organizations that do not care. They don't care about the community. They don't care about the players. They don't care about anything. They just care about flipping the product as fast as they can.
Yes.
And because Magic and Pokemon have completely just been like, nope, we don't care, you end up in these situations where you have stores being like, hey, if you're a grown-up, we're not selling to you anymore.
I respect it. Like, the store's having to make that decision. Also, caveat, or not caveat, segue. 1 second, please. Vampy Bay, thank you for subscribing to our Twitch channel.
Yo, yo!
Thank you so much!
Yeah, I'm trying to... Y'all, first off, need to stop creating this false scarcity, and you need to lock down the distribution channels again. I don't think they're actually going to do it, though.
No,
As bad as the press is for both Wizards and Pokemon, I don't see them changing anything.
Well, it's because it benefits them first and foremost, right? If they had to lock down the distribution channels, that means that they would have to actually put systems in place to actually verify all of the storefronts that are operating in their distribution currently. And that also means that they would also have to go through and investigate their own distributors as well, which is a whole lot of work. And I don't know if it is across the board for, teams like WotC or Pokemon, but I do know that there are quite a few businesses right now that are basically deciding that due to budgetary constraints, they don't have the people to do things, right? AKA layoffs.
They obviously have enough money to hire Pinkertons.
That's because they have them on retainer. Isn't that great? But so if they're already, selling the cards and kind of wiping their hands of it as soon as it crosses the threshold, I don't think that they kind of want to take back that control, because that puts a whole lot of man hours right back on their plate.
Yeah, but eventually you have to look at it as an investment. You have to look at it as an investment in your community and the people who actually love your stuff, and not just the people who are trying to profiteer off the secondary markets and things like that. You've really off the Clendals market. It's false scarcity, and it's just
stage capitalism.
Yeah, it's really getting ugly. So I don't know if we had more. We do at the beginning of runs, but I mean, this might be the trick,
IDing people before they buy Pokemon cards.
Kids get cards, man.
I mean, that's how you're supposed. Okay, if you are trying to make a community or make sure that a game has a longevity, you need to make sure that you are making it so that kids can play, right? Because they're going to have a longer lifespan than the adults that are just shitting out money to scalp the cards. So if you're not making it so that the kids can actually get cards, then you're never going to have that young fan base that is able to grow up and with your game.
Which is exactly. That's how you get the longevity. You're absolutely right.
Does this also raise the secondary market prices?
That's tough to say. Pokemon's kind of a funky secondary market because of how fast they shift their meta between the sets. So it's not like Magic, where you've got one portion of the secondary market that is the play side of the secondary market that are looking for play stats and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because sets go out of tournament legality really fast, super quick. So then you're left with only the secondary collector's market, specifically the collector's market. but there's a couple in these last sets that people are just hunting for.
Well, and it's interesting, especially as a store that has Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh, right? It is interesting to see the difference between how these cards go through waxes and wanes of popularity, especially with different sets. As soon as the meta changes for Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of our Yu-Gi-Oh players will just wait and stop playing the game completely until they have a new set that fits the meta. Or with Pokemon, you know, the meta changes, and sometimes they'll pull cards that are, you know, 5 or 6, 7 sets back that end up being able to be used. And that helps the secondhand market, but if we're not printing enough cards...
Again, it's false scarcity, it's lack of control of the distribution channels, and it's just the way that they're doing it, and it's just disappointing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really, really disappointing. It also hurts game stores a lot. All the online the online scalper market, all this thing is just, it's a mess. And
it's just for this shortage, right? The kids thing?
So far.
Okay. As far as we can read into it, at least. I don't know if it's going to continue to be that way, especially with this being specifically the stores in the Akihabara. I know that personally I'll be keeping an eye on this just because I am interested to see how the secondary and tertiary effects take place. I really do think that making sure that the threshold is low for kids to get into gaming is an important thing to make sure that we continue to raise, you know, generations of nerds. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So, anyway, good job, little Japan thingy. Have fun. I'm glad you're restricting it to the children. Let the kids get some bloody Pokemon cards.
Let them play a game.
And Japan, try not to run out of Pokemon cards again. Seriously.
Or Pokemon print more cards. I don't know what the right answer is here.
The right answer is getting their stinking distribution under control. All right, on to our next topic. This one's particularly funny. Obviously, there's been some huge changes over at the Twitter space in the last few months for reasons that we don't need to go back into now. But we've had a very funny series of things happen this weekend, insofar as full rips of the new Super Mario Brothers movie and Avatar: The Way of Water have appeared on Twitter.
Why is this?
Because when you pay for Twitter Blue, you can upload up to hour-long videos. And so what some enterprising folks have done, and apparently they're pretty good rips, is they've done rips of those movies and done them in a series of 3 threaded tweets.
I'm kind of sad I missed this over the weekend.
I really would have sat down and watched it. And it took them, now the funniest part about that is obviously one of the first groups that was laid off after the change in ownership at Twitter was the trust and safety team, the people who, you know, scour Twitter
modding, doing
to
all
do this.
Things, yeah.
And so basically...
paid $8 for this movie.
Yeah, well, no, you don't have to pay for the movie. You paid $8 to post it so everybody else could watch it. It took them 2 days to take them down. Right?
Right, because
for the initial one.
Skeleton Crew, yeah.
And then they didn't suspend the account initially. I went to check it this morning, and it was finally suspended this morning at about 8 o'clock in the morning, after the news had broke all over the place. Now, apparently, some other channels are doing the same thing.
Okay, so we're in the find out stage of FAFO.
So this is funny great. Because you don't have a trust safety team. So, and we all know this because the internet is not new, right? The internet is not new. And so we know that once these things come out, they proliferate. The minute you try and get rid of it, it's Streisand effect. Now everybody's going to be like, all right, time to have some fun. Let's get some torrented versions of Mario Brothers. And so...
Jeez.
You know, now these things are popping up. Now, the funny thing is I give it a few hours until Disney and Universal start hitting Twitter with legal notices going, you got to fix this. But wait, you laid off 75% of the Twitter staff to include the entire trust and safety team. They're gone. There's nobody left to do it, and I don't know what he's going to do at this point.
I really do think that he's just accelerating into the brick wall because
It's so much fun.
he has taken this social media platform, paid quite a bit of money for it,
$44 billion.
and
Take a poison counter.
yeah, seriously. He basically, because of the changes that he has made on this social media platform, he has halved what it is worth,
At least.
and due to the layoffs that he has done, has also incited multiple lawsuits from different countries because of the way that he laid off his international employees, including a person who had a deal with Twitter that he would be paid a certain amount of dollars for the company that he sold to Twitter if he was fired.
Exactly. Specifically, like, yeah.
Because he also laid off his legal team, too. So,
I'll be honest, everybody's like, leave Twitter, leave Twitter. I'm staying until this thing burns to the ground. It is one of the funniest things I have seen ever.
I've never seen somebody who people think is so intelligent shoot himself in the foot so many times in, like, record time.
It's great.
It is
I'm having
entertainment.
I am having a blast with this. I'm having a great time. Hey, by the way, if anybody wants to put some cool rips on Twitter, now I'm not encouraging you to break the law, but if somebody happened to put up a rip of the new Flash movie, like, that'd be pretty cool. Right? I'm just saying. They had the screening at CinemaCon last week, and apparently the movie's really, really good. But
He's gonna make Twitter into the new movie theater.
I'm really curious how long this is gonna go.
The
And
popcorn's
again,
already there.
you did it, and now again, it's just going to explode because it's kind of like when people started paying the $8 to do troll accounts against Elon, right? Where they were like Elon Tusk, and like they were doing various parody accounts with a blue check, and the problem is that he was like, okay, we're going to do this where you can get the blue check. It's not just going to be a thing. And then he keeps giving blue checks back to people who won't pay for it, like Stephen King. And like, no,
Stephen King was not happy about that.
you know, and now we've got the gray check and the gold check and the other check.
Oh,
and,
yeah. I thought those were just like scripting things.
No, it's so they're doing some for government agencies, some for some other stuff. So wouldn't it be nice if somebody posted under his name with the blue check? They have. That's the problem. Is that it's happened like 5 or 6 times now. It's the funniest thing in the world. So yeah, full rips.
I need somebody to let me know faster than before it gets taken down, because I'd love to see it. See whatever rips they put up
I'm
there.
just curious when more are going to pop up.
Again, legally,
Now,
not because I condone this.
Do you know what else is hilarious? Because, so this has now come over to Twitter, and I actually think this is from TikTok. Because I have seen a bunch of rips
Oh, yeah.
on TikTok. I had watched most of Top Gun Maverick on TikTok.
Yeah,
in 1 minute chunks.
They have Family Guy on there. I know somebody who watches
How I Met Your Mother,
Bluey
Big
all
Bang
over
Theory.
It. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. It is just
And I think it proliferates too fast
everybody trolls
for them to kill it.
But then it becomes over-regulated because of knee-jerk.
The thing is that they can't over-regulate. They've run themselves into this corner where, you know, they don't want regulations because regulation's bad, and yet then they get themselves in trouble because there's no regulatory authority and nobody knows what to do, and it's hilarious.
Oh. Is it cam footage or straight up like 1080p rips?
It varies. It really varies between the rips.
Like most of the Family Guy ones are pretty good.
Yeah,
like the ones that
I'm
seen.
pretty sure those are like direct screen recordings from a streaming service.
Yep.
Which you can use. No, I'm not even gonna say that.
Nope.
I wasn't.
It's super easy to do with about 2 minutes worth of work.
I suspect allegedly
that people are using something like Streamlabs to screen record on their second screen when they're playing stuff like Family Guy or the old episodes of The Simpsons or movies. And so with a capture card and Streamlabs, I mean, it is theoretically possible. I'm just saying.
Technology is so wild.
Do you remember when they used to get uppity about this stuff in the Blockbuster days? Because VHSs, this was like their big fear. They were like, oh my God.
Steal a car.
Yeah. Because people used to, like, and I knew people who bought, they were like $100 at the time, but it was a fast re-recorder. And you basically would take your Blockbuster tape and stick it in one side. You would take a blank VHS and stick it in the other, put it down, and it would be like, and it would record the whole thing in like 30 minutes.
Oh my God, I totally didn't. Okay, so
on VHS.
This is gonna like reveal how innocent little me was, because I know for a fact
I would 100% tweet a car.
one of my one of my family members actually had one of those, and I always figured it was because they wanted to take parts of our family videos and put them onto other VHSs. Hey, I just connected some dots.
And then they were like, well, we'll
Good
have this
Lord.
little tab thingy, and if it's popped off, you can't record. And then you would just take a piece of tape and stick it
put
over
it
the
on there.
tab.
Oh my God.
And so none of this is surprising to me. What the best part about this, again, it's full rips. Speaking of Super Mario, though, congratulations to the Super Mario movie. You have now joined the $1 Billion Club.
Wow.
Super Mario, I think I said this on stream like
we
2 months
talked about
ago,
this.
where I was like, Super Mario Bros. Is going to do $1 billion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially with how lovingly crafted the film is, all of the reviews that I have seen for this movie, excuse me,
They respected the source material.
they respected the source material. They put
Good cast.
so many goddamn Easter eggs in there that you can literally not look away from the screen, which is pretty great, especially because it is it's a very hyper-stimulating movie.
And the way you get to these numbers is multiple views,
Yeah.
right? You have people going
Absolutely.
back to the theater to see this multiple times.
Well, yeah.
It also helps them that they had kind of like a 3-4 week run where they were in all the premium screens because there was nothing else coming out that was of that premium level. I do think it had a distinct effect on the D&D movie. Is that
I was just gonna say, rip D&D movie,
Yeah.
damn.
Because that's what happened. I mean, D&D movie released one weekend, and Super Mario was out the next weekend, and I think that it really crushed it.
I was just gonna say, it's Titanfall all over again.
So, yeah, congratulations to the Super Mario movie. Obviously, it getting full rips on Twitter is not going to hurt its box office at this point.
No,
Advertising.
it is advertising.
Basically, and it's going to crush when it goes to home video.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, again, stick with the Twitter drama. Maybe you could find full rips of your favorite movies on Twitter.
I mean, I heard Avatar: The Way of the Water was on there as well.
I don't-
All whole 3.5 hours. So,
I
Last
really,
Action Hero, we don't need that. Everybody has a DVD of that, Pete.
I don't know how we're going to get around to this. All right, so with that topic over with, I saw one chat topic, but if you have anything you'd like us to talk about today, go ahead and drop it into the chat, and we will add to it. Screenwriters Guild update, somebody in the YouTube chat asked about. They have till midnight tonight.
Yeah, so there are a lot of rumors and preparations circulating around. What have you seen that's really impactful or
Both camps
nail-bitey?
There's no leaks.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Very tight-lipped, huh?
I cannot find any leaks, and that's to me somewhat surprising. I would normally expect to see somebody on one side or the other leaking to the press to be like, this is where we're stuck, to try and put pressure on the other side. I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
So I don't know if that indicates that they're just so far away that's not even worth it, or if they're really, really close and they're just trying to get through stuff. Keep in mind, they have voted a strike authorization,
Yes.
but just because the deal expires at midnight does not necessarily mean that they will strike tomorrow.
Right.
It means that if they feel like they're close, they may hold off for a few days to try and finish this deal up.
Which is most likely why they're probably being so quiet about it. Perhaps.
There's a lot of coverage of this one.
Yeah, as YouTube has asked, how are there no leaks? This is Hollywood, which is literally
So the
the
funny thing-
rumor mill.
It is, but Hollywood actually, it's both. There's lots of rumor mills, but they have tight lockdown security on a lot of stuff. It's like when they make a movie and they talk about when they made Avengers Endgame, nobody in the cast read the entire script. They couldn't. And they were taken into a room to read it for the first time. They were only shown their pieces of it.
I mean, I thought that was just because Tom Holland was very good at ruining the movie.
Really, it's a security measure. They do so many security measures to make sure these things don't get out early.
Oh, man.
So when they want to, they can hold data. They can hold data pretty strong. Again, I haven't seen anything distinct to make me lean one way or another.
Right. I mean, and
I know you were looking at it over the weekend. Did you see anything?
No. But as somebody who, you know, both consumes media but also very much supports making sure that workers have rights, I'm interested to see how this goes, especially as we all kind of remember, even if it's subconsciously, the impact of the last strike. And how many of our shows or, you know, favorite series kind of just got dropped because of that. It'll be interesting. It's going to be something that I'm kind of like watching through you vicariously, to be honest. Medic?
They haven't made it. They said they could strike tomorrow morning at 12:01 a.m.
I also have a chat topic.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't see anything from anybody that I consider a reliable source that gives me an indication as to whether they're actually going to call for a strike tonight.
So Tom Holland hasn't spoiled the end of the strike yet?
No. Well, he's in the Screen Actors Guild. So and SAG is due up
SAG
next.
is looking to SAG too?
SAG's contract is up next.
Everybody.
All the contracts are up this year, so
Maybe
I think that
should
they
go
are
talk
watching.
to NATO.
The only rumor I've seen is that it's some of the compensation regarding streaming services is the.
Oh yeah, no, that tracks. Especially with how big streaming services are now, how they have not been really truly compensating, you know, those who they stream.
And I was watching a writer talk about this, and the difference between now and the old days, and this is their biggest concern. This is the issue with the compensation on that side is. When it was broadcast television, a sitcom ran 22 to 24 episodes, right? Meaning you had you had 40 weeks worth of work.
Yeah.
Right? When you were in a writer's room for a show.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas with streaming, because the broadcast lengths have come down to 8-10 episodes at a pop, they're having to string together like, okay, you got 10 weeks on this show, and then you got 12 on this show and 6 on this show, and you're having to string together runs of this 20 Squid Game ripoffs. So actually, that's actually what Netflix has been threatening. So Netflix is the only one I've seen really come out publicly and be like, whatever, strike if you want to. And basically what Netflix is saying is we've got a bunch of foreign, like Korean shows specifically.
I'm not mad about that. K-dramas are nice.
They are, but they're basically using it as leverage against the writers.
I don't like that.
They're saying,
don't like that.
We've got a bunch of stuff, and we have all this stuff in the can already, and we will go to K-dramas, and we will go to Korea and Japan, and we will load up on stuff and dump that on our service if that's what you make us do.
So split right now. It's not even funny.
So that's what they're doing. Netflix has made that statement pretty publicly.
See you, Kelsey. Hell yeah.
So we'll see. All right, so that's the end of that one.
Something less depressing that I'm going to talk about right now.
MetaQuest.
No, actually.
What? Oh, what do you got?
So, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom is coming out next week, and apparently I saw some whisperings of a possible leak and the fact that the game is being sold already.
By who?
So it came across my Twitter feed, so pardon me. But it looks like there are quite a few gamers who have already released a couple of videos of gameplay of this game. And I'm going to be, And I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this so that we can maybe update you on Wednesday, especially with this and the Writers Guild. Because I know for a fact Nintendo does not take kindly to leaks. And while they may not be like WotC...
How did it get out?
I don't know.
That's my question because I'm
I
seeing.
really do think that it might be another distributor error. Because I literally am wondering if there is somebody who is.
Because I'm seeing the story now, and basically, and so while Taylor's looking that up, I'll fill some more people in. So it was mostly private screenshots and clips from private live streams, probably through like Discord or something like that. Yep, there are several live streams on private Discord servers. Others are attempting to stream on Twitch. So Twitch ones are getting taken down quick.
You got suspended.
Discord is harder to do that with because they're all private servers. So it looks like somebody got a hold of it early. And again, how...
I just checked on Amazon and Target. It doesn't look like they're actually sending it out until the 19th, which is fine.
Somebody would have got it through distro.
Somebody got a copy and sold it on Mercari, which I guess is like OfferUp.
Yeah, I'm using Mercari.
Oh, they put it on Mercari.
Yeah.
Who knew?
So, again, this kind of brings us back to the original topics. Like, y'all get mad, and you know what? I don't like the DMCA takedowns. I get really frustrated with these kind of DMCA takedowns. One, because you're using DMCA takedowns in a manner in which they're not supposed to be used. Right?
The only time I've ever liked it is when they actually DMCA took down Metallica during their own
that was funny.
Metallica stream. And not because I don't like Metallica, but because it was just absolute shit show.
That was hilarious. But
yeah.
The DMCAs that Nintendo sends out, again, especially in this situation, is you're doing it because you screwed up. And that's what I don't like about it. Like it's like,
yeah,
you screwed up. Okay, you let go of your distribution channels. Your distributors are the ones who mess up. I mean, the only way I can, again...
Are they going to send the Pinkertons after themselves?
The only way I can perceive somebody
this is
getting a
very
hold of
bad
Tears of the Kingdom early is the copies were all sent out to the distributors, and somebody at the distributor's like, oh, I'm going to hook my buddy up.
Either that, or they figured they would get a jump on the pre-sales and then accidentally sent some of them out, which is a very big possibility in a warehouse situation.
That's happened before,
Yes.
where stuff ended up hitting street date early. I'm really curious. I'm really curious how it happened, but Nintendo, don't even bother DMCAing it at this point. I mean, really?
It is a week away.
wow.
I wouldn't say no to getting a copy early, but I would also not stream it or say a damn word to anybody. So, just saying that online.
Yeah.
The Interpol version of Pinkertons.
I mean, congrats to the person who got it early.
Yeah.
Like, good for you, buddy.
This is going to be very interesting to see
that
how
distributor's
that is
going to get
handled.
sued into the ground.
Probably.
The problem is again, it depends. I mean, the distributors...
If they can prove plausible deniability, I can see that lawsuit not being a big deal. However, I also know that Nintendo is very protective of
They're extremely protective of their IP.
and especially because it is the new Zelda game, I am interested to see the fallout from this. So yeah, you heard it here. There was one other video that I saw that was about 5 hours ago that actually confirmed this. It is a PSA about it, and you are welcome to find this on YouTube if you would like. Gosh, hold on.
Good luck, Nintendo.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun. If you wanted to see more about it, I'm pretty sure it's called Austin John Plays. I have never watched this streamer, so I do not know. I have not vetted this. However, that is the video that I saw that actually led to this segment. So, yeah, let's talk about MetaQuest.
Very exciting.
Oh
Is this
my
still a
God.
thing?
What?
What?
MetaQuest?
What
Yeah.
is?
So it used to be the Oculus Quest, but then it became Meta. So now they're coming out with a third one, the Meta Quest. And I own a Quest 2, and it's great.
Yeah, don't we have an Oculus and a Quest 2?
Yes.
Okay. And I thought that Meta was stopping
No, they're
stopping
stopping
the metaverse.
They're
stuff.
stopping the metaverse.
Okay, and this is not in hand with the gaming showcase.
This is the gaming showcase.
This is the VR
Yes.
gaming showcase.
So here's what I find interesting about this. I'm going to say this in a silly way, but it's true. who cares? Like, VR is such a niche portion of the video game industry right now. Like, first off, it's expensive, right? Because not only do you have to have the console or the PC, but it's a fairly expensive peripheral.
Hold up.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
Drop some hot
You're gonna
knowledge.
get roasted on YouTube.
You are going to get roasted. There are a lot of people I know.
The Meta Quest is the self-contained version with no wires.
Okay.
And it's great.
It accesses the cloud, right?
But how
for
does
gaming.
does it go straight to your Wi-Fi, or do you have to have a console or PC to make it work?
It's a self-contained. It's all in the headset.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you also don't need watch or the light towers either for the Meta.
How much is it?
300. Yeah.
Okay.
Ishinatal
It's
just
just
confirmed.
like buying a Switch. Like if you could spend the amount of money on a Switch and have VR games.
Yeah.
Beat Saber's on it. It's great.
Yeah.
Ragnarok as well.
I'm asking, like, also, it doesn't seem like it's got good market foothold right now.
It really depends on the niches that you travel in, for one. Like, I am very well acquainted with quite a few communities that are very, like, they are into VR so much that they have figured out how to rig up full body suits, right? With, like, stuff that is not necessarily meant
Still
for that.
doing better than the Kinect ever did.
100%.
Very
And I'm
much.
pretty sure there are people who actually now will take apart the Kinect and use that as well for full body tracking. So that's a thing too.
How much is the how many copies have they sold of the Meta Quest?
Let me check. Why am I screaming? I'm just talking to my microphone.
Give me a second. Entertain yourselves.
I'm going to entertain myself. Their entire company to only make VR games and survive.
I mean, you have Second Life. I know people who
I mean,
make
I'll admit, I
assets for
might
Second
be
Life.
wrong. Maybe it's bigger than I think it is.
All right.
I know that
It is.
you do not do very much VR gaming.
Here you
do
go.
any.
How many Xboxes did you say have been sold?
15 million-ish.
Guess how many Meta has sold of Quests? 20 million.
Huh.
It came out, the Meta Quest 2, it was called the Oculus Quest before
Yeah,
they
because I
rebranded.
remember Meta bought Oculus.
It came out in the summer of 2020.
Okay.
It was like $300 because I bought one then because of quarantine. For $300, self-contained VR headset, which like I had an old Rift and it was pretty nice, but I bought it for exercising and Beat Saber was on it.
I've been wanting to try Beat Saber. I see it on TikTok all the time.
Perhaps there will be a
Oh, you've
stream
ne-
in the future of
oh.
Alex doing Beat Saber.
Oh,
'cause I
brother.
think that would be amazingly hilarious.
Brother, we're gonna do some Beat Saber. You need to try it. It's fun. But the thing is, it didn't initially have a lot of support because of the hardware. But over time, they've gotten more and more and more games. There's been a lot of games that I've had on my wish list on Steam for VR that have come out for the Quest, like Ragnarok, which is another rhythm game where you are drumming for a longboat. I wanted that one so bad, and then it came out on Quest, and I instantly bought it. They also frequently give you $10 credits towards the store, which is really nice. So
thank you for using their stuff.
So I suspect that the Meta Quest 3 is almost purely for a hardware update. Because it's low poly, everything has to be low poly and like low res textures, but it's really good. And I'm telling you, you wouldn't think that having no wires would be worth buying another VR headset, but having no wires is amazing.
Oh no, that's one of the things. Like the wire thing is one of the reasons I never bought one.
You should look into it. And
have they fixed the motion sickness issue that they have with VR?
It depends on the game.
no, that's true.
A lot of it is due to the way that they navigate. There are some games, like if you're going to try and play like a first-person shooter or a Dead Space or whatever, you're still going to have to point at the floor and move that way because you will get sick. However, there are quite a few games now that have worked around that vertigo and have made it a lot easier for you to play without being sick.
Do you want to hear a story about how enthralling it is? I'm going to pop up my camera here.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.
Are you going to talk about your...
Yeah, I'm on story time. All right, so you're like, it can't be that enthralling, right? I'm going to mute you guys so I don't like over talk and
No worries.
trigger your microphones. So you're like, hey, it can't be that enthralling, right? It's low poly and all this stuff. Well, story time. I got a boxing game for free on the Meta Quest, right? And I was like, I used to box quite a bit. I was like, this can't be that like enthralling and immersive. The models looked really good. It turns out I boxed so hard that I bruised my pancreas. I told this on the the cult of the lamb string. I bruised my pancreas and had to go to the hospital. Didn't know it was my pancreas. Had elevated white blood cell levels and pancreatic enzymes. And they were like, this could, I won't tell you what it is. And I came in and she was like, it could be pancreatic cancer. So I boxed so hard and so because it was so convincing that I bruised my effing pancreas and had a cancer scare for a week and could only eat vegetables. It's good. It's good. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm looking at this stuff right now because I haven't followed it very closely, and apparently Meta saying their biggest issue right now is retention. They've sold nearly 20 million, but apparently their retention numbers are not very good.
Yeah,
they can't keep people playing.
It's a niche thing.
It is very much a niche thing. There's also like it depends on the games you want to play too, right?
Yeah.
Like I know one of our friends, Joe, actually plays like hours upon hours of Star Wars Squadrons in VR.
That was actually one of the only reasons I was going to buy a VR headset was for Star Wars Squadrons because I love that game.
Yeah.
Probably worth it. Ace plays Phasmophobia exclusively in VR.
That sounds awful.
Sounds terrifying.
Probably is.
20 million copies though. It's coming out with a third one.
Yeah.
They would probably have previewed it in E3, but
so this brings me to another question. Then why can't they get the metaverse off the ground if they've got this much?
Have you ever gone into
of an install base?
Have you ever gone into VR Chat or Second Life?
I've been in Second Life.
Okay, so why do we need? Metaverse.
Second Life was really popular.
Yes.
Still is.
Still is. Like we have friends that make assets for it, and they make a living off of this. Basically, Metaverse tried to come into this niche, right, with two places that have already been so well established and so well taken care of with VR Chat and Second Life. So they were trying to fill a need that wasn't there, basically, and they were doing it poorly as well, and also trying to encourage people to go to their in-office meetings in Metaverse, which I don't know if you've ever been in you said you've been in Second Life. I've been in VR Chat. I actually went to a wedding in VR Chat over the summer in 2020. It was great. But like, it is an interesting time. It is very fun. It is also served with a side of hot garbage. So like, and not in a bad way. Like there's no ill to speak of for me for like VR Chat or Second Life or those who play it. But like, they tried to make that be more corporatized with Metaverse, and I think that's where they basically failed. It's just absolute. It wasn't needed.
Usually with an install base that big, you can do something.
Well,
you could go do Taco Bell in Metaverse.
They tried to break into that virtual space and then forgot to like.
Exactly, Kelsey.
Well, it's kind of like why PlayStation Home was there but didn't super take off. Like I know it's niche, people like it, but
right. I mean,
it doesn't appeal to a large user. Feel free, YouTube, to correct me.
Or call back to in chat earlier. It's kind of like Xbox Connect, right? Don't you guys have phones? Yeah, like they came late to the party basically, and then didn't bring their legs. They didn't have the same fuel for their design or their concepts as Second Life and VR Chat, which also means that like the users that would normally go to Metaverse came in and they were like, "This sucks."
I think it also came along at a time like when they changed it to the metaverse, when NFTs were just starting up, and it felt a little like crypto grabby and just kind of hopping on a train at the time. Which maybe that's not what it was, but I think that's how it came off.
I mean, I know I'm happy that NFTs appear to be dying.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
So that's a thought I had.
All right. All right, Chad, if there's any other things, we'll stay a little bit longer because we started a little late, so we can stay a few more minutes. So if there's anything y'all want to talk about, please let us know.
Or any news that you've seen that I have
that we missed.
Yeah. I do know that we have quite a few events coming up for the store. We have trivia tonight, ran by our very own Brandon Victor. So if you like nerdy trivia, come and check us out tonight. That should be at 7 p.m., I believe. We can have teams of up to six people. Goodness. And we do gift card giveaways at the end for those who are the top teams. We will have a mystery boba as well.
CinemaCon Roundup.
Ooh, space and sci-fi heavy tonight for trivia.
Yay. CinemaCon Roundup. They did less screenings than everybody thought they were going to do. Disney's presentation was pretty garbo. They didn't really have much to show for reasons that I don't understand. Although apparently the stuff that they did show from Little Mermaid and Wish were pretty good.
I'm really excited about Wish.
But the general vibe of CinemaCon was Disney's was pretty garbo. The Flash movie, almost to a person, everything I've seen about the Flash screening they did at CinemaCon was, this is a phenomenal film.
Do they have a limited amount of time for CinemaCon, and if so, did Flash eat up a lot of it?
No,
yeah.
it's 4 days. I mean, it's Monday through Thursday.
Geez. Okay, so 4 hours doesn't matter.
No, well, I think Flash is a 2 hour and 20-minute movie. But apparently, again, everything that I've seen from CinemaCon on The Flash is that the movie is just, that Andy Muschietti, who made the film, just knocks it out of the park. The girl who plays Supergirl, again, just crushed it.
Is she cute?
Michael Keaton's great.
Of course he is.
There's apparently some really good story stuff in there that will explain a lot. I haven't seen any spoiler reviews yet. And I know the people that I watch that I trust have been like heavily avoiding spoilers because apparently there's some good stuff in there. As far as the rest of it, the new movie Joyride apparently was a surprise. Like, wow. It's made by the woman who made Crazy Rich Asians. Ooh. And a couple of those other ones. And apparently, right before they went to South by Southwest, until the marketing department said, no, we can't do this, the original title of the film was The Joy Fuck Club.
I love that so much. Yes.
So, and then they changed it the last minute to Joyride, right before they went to South by Southwest. So apparently that's like a must-see is what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. So aside from that, mild stuff, Rise of the Beasts, Transformers, Fast 10. They had some stuff. Dune. They had the
second Dune, right?
The second Dune's coming out, so they had that whole cast there to talk about the second Dune movie and Denis Villeneuve. I don't know if there was anything else that was major. Not really. I follow CinemaCon pretty closely every year, and there wasn't a lot this year that I was like, oh, that's surprising or that's interesting. It's pretty rote.
I know that this is not related to CinemaCon, but I did just see that Deadpool 3 had their cast lineup announced, which means that they are confirming their cast.
That's good.
And going to start filming for that. Hopefully the Writers Guild does not alter that. We did get a question in chat. What are your opinions on the Magic the Gathering mini set, which is Aftermath, that's coming out this month? I do know I've been watching the Facebook groups that I'm part of fairly closely.
I think it's going to bomb.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's basically the sentiment that I have seen all around Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, even Discord, right? It doesn't look like people are looking to buy into it.
Put it this way, and you can clip this. Phil and I were talking about it, and our primary distributor for Magic said you should cut your order in half. He told us to buy less.
Ooh.
He's like, you don't need this much.
Oh, damn.
Buy less. And for a distributor to be like...
To tell you to save money.
To buy less is a thing. That's a thing.
Ryan, this was your question. What is your opinion?
Yeah, I'm curious what chat's opinion is.
I do know that you play pretty heavily, and I know you've been at many of our pre-releases.
Apparently, the 50 cards they're releasing are pretty cool, but it's, again, I don't know why they're structuring it this way. It's very much like a Yu-Gi-Oh set. So each booster pack is like 5 or 7 cards, something like that.
5.
Yeah,
You
and
get
then
6 in the collector boosters.
yeah, and so it's a weird
As
set.
far as I
And
understand.
how much are they charging?
I don't know yet. I haven't had a chance to sit down and look at it. On the pricing,
If they make it so MSRP is like $5.
there is no MSRP. It's Magic.
Yeah,
That's
right.
true.
There will be no MSRP. MSRP doesn't exist for Magic.
Cards look decent, but they're charging full price for half a set.
Yeah, that seems to be
that's slimy.
So, I'm very again I think this set's gonna bomb. I think Lord of the Rings is gonna do well, but I think it's gonna bomb.
$4 for 5 cards.
I'm gonna take a look. I haven't seen what
Yikes.
we're gonna charge because I haven't seen what we're paying, so
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen the
true.
invoice yet. So
Well, if we spend less on the Magic cards, that also means that we can charge less. So
Warhammer Fest announcements. The 10th launch box looks good. I'm actually a little upset with Games Workshop right now
well, why is that, Alex?
because they're not putting out any relevant. They're putting out information that's incomplete, and you can't make relevant decisions as a game store with the information they're giving us.
But if you were an influencer,
I would already have a copy of 10th edition rules. Here's the issue that I've got. When is 10th edition releasing? What day? I don't know. Do you know why I don't know? Because they didn't tell us. They did not tell us.
which is frustrating because in order to get allocations, we actually have to put in a request for allocations before the release date.
By the way, for our Warhammer people, if you would like to sign up for the launch box, you do not need to put down a deposit right now. We are taking an interest list on the launch box
So we can ask for those allocations.
so we can ask for those allocations. Once we get the allocation, we will let you know how many we can order. But if you want to do that, come in. You do not need to put down a deposit. You can just put your name on the list for that.
Also, I heard through the grapevine that they are redoing codexes again and kind of reneging on the fact that they said codexes would be free online, but making the indices free online. I know this is not confirmed.
We
but
don't
this
know
is through the grapevine.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what this is going to look like, and they're kind of being wishy-washy. And Phil called me on Saturday, and I jumped into the comments section specifically to see where Warhammer was responding.
Okay.
We know that June, and probably with 2 weeks pre-orders, a $250 box. The thing is like, take this box. I don't know if we're even getting it. I don't know if it's an online exclusive. I know it's a limited run box. I know they're only making so many of this launch box. There will be a second launch box. That'll be the standard launch box.
Oh,
I don't know anything. And argument for inside baseball stuff. I want to be following up with our Warhammer rep, but because Warhammer tends to leak like the Iraqi Navy, they tend to not even tell their reps stuff. So a lot of times the reps don't know. I thought they were going to spoil this month. The stores lose a month of sales, not 2. I'm not sure. And June 24th seems about right to me. They're saying June and they've said summer. That they do actually. They do. The Iraqis do have a navy. And I'm cribbing a line from The Departed with that one because it's a funny line. Warhammer leaks bad, and they've leaked consistently through 9th edition. A lot of stuff. They got rid of most of their playtesting team outside of the company because they kept leaking stuff. And we don't know if they're releasing those models separately. We know nothing. That being said, we are going to start our Warhammer League. It starts today. You can come sign up. It's $30 for the whole league. It will run until 10th drops, right? And we are going to be giving away one of those boxes as the prize. The grand prize for that one will be one of those boxes. I'm presuming we can get them. I think we will get some. I just don't know how many.
We do have friends over at the Warhammer store as well, so if we are not able to get the allocation, we are able to point you in the right direction.
We will figure it out. But, come in and play for that thingy. I thought I saw something else.
Where can they find the address?
Gamers7pnw.com, where you can also find our live event schedule as well. We update that daily. And then if you want to check out any of our social medias, you can also find us on Facebook, Insta, Twitter, and Discord as well. Especially if you are trolling the video websites, you can check us out on Twitch and YouTube too.
Last question
TikTok
I
too.
saw in there.
Forgot
How's
about that one.
Jedi Survivor? I played a little bit over the weekend.
Woo!
You can go back and watch our live stream of Jedi Survivor in the live tab on YouTube,
Jetpacks!
or for the time being on Twitch VOD. We played through the entire initial Coruscant level. And yes, I do say the words Jedi flip and where's my jetpack a lot during that playthrough. Because, you know, they would solve problems with the jetpack. It just wouldn't be a thing.
I loved how there was a guy following you around that had the jetpack. He was just showing off the whole time.
I think so too. I did play some over the weekend. Before we do the next playthrough, I'm trying to get to the open world section, so I'm trying to grind through a little bit of the boring stuff.
The tutorial.
No, it's not even tutorial. It's just there's some initial dungeony delvey stuff that I'm just trying to like roll through. But my initial impressions of Jedi Survivor, roll these up for a short, I guess, is it's solid. I don't understand where everybody's having PC issues. Aside from some minor frame rate stuff, I have not seen any major issues on either of the PCs that I've played on, both the one here at the store, which is my old gaming rig, which has a 2080.
Older than the one that you have at home.
Which is older than I have at home, that has a 30 series and a better processor. Although there's some, this is the computer's fault, it's got some heat issues. But I haven't seen any major performance issues on the PC version.
I'll have to check it out on the console just to see what's going on there as well.
It plays pretty clean. There's a lot of platforming. I actually saw a joke on TikTok where it was Assassin's Creed Jedi Survivor, and they're playing the Assassin's Creed theme over it, and it does kind of feel like that at points.
Again, I stand by my statement. It's not Assassin's Creed until you're purple in the face, yelling at the screen. I didn't mean for you to jump on that. Get down.
Oh, too late. Yep, got there.
Yeah, okay, fantastic.
Got there with
It is
Jedi
Assassin's
Survivor.
Creed now, there you go.
So yeah, overall, my first impression is it's beautifully art directed. It's solid. It seems to be a reasonable improvement on the first game. There's still a lot of platforming. It still feels like the first game in a lot of ways, but improved. And I'm still invested in playing the game more. It's a fun game. It's been pretty solid. So I don't know what the performance issues other people are having is. I think you need to look at your own settings in your computer and learn how to do that. Part of the issues with PCs. Suck it up.
This just in, Alex says, learn how to technology if you want to play the game.
Gonna edit that one heavily.
Look, the fact of the matter is if you want a plug and play experience, go play on console. That's what consoles are great for. Okay? They make Xbox and PlayStation. If you want to download something and play, just play it on a console. Okay? PCs have always been, since time immemorial, the worst thing to play on if you don't know how to tweak your stuff. If you know how to tweak your stuff, you get amazing performance out of a PC that far outstrips what a console is capable of in graphical fidelity and sound and everything else. Get good.
Not adding that part in.
Just making some work for producer Pete there. I'm gonna be watching the YouTube comments like a freaking hawk.
Sorry, look, it's a significant money and time investment to play on PC. That's just it's always been that way, right? So when you get on here and you're like, my PC's not working, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, go buy an Xbox. Like, it's cheaper and easier for you.
Bruh.
What?
It's a really simple two-step process.
Chat's in there right now. It's a really simple two-step process. Get and good.
Speaking of getting good, I've been playing a game that it's a newer indie game called Strayed Lights. If you want to check it out, it's on all platforms, and it's about learning how to parry. So if you really want to get good, go play that game. It is frustrating as freaking hell.
Did you witness me become a computer purist? Absolutely not. There's certain things that I play on console. I own multiple consoles.
Yeah.
I like consoles.
Consoles are great.
I'm more actually
PCs
hitting the PC people who are being upset about stuff. Like, sorry, there's a bunch of ways to do it. I did choose violence today. I've been spitting venom for days, dude. Like,
yeah,
it's been.
You are spicier than me this morning, and that was incredible. Like,
speaking of consoles, oh yes, we do now have a bunch of Xboxes, so you can play some retro Halo, So we're going to be getting some retro Halo stuff going. We should have
retro Halo.
like Halo 1 on an original Xbox.
Whoa.
Dear God.
Okay. And they will be LANed together so we can play some retro Halo on LAN because
Yes.
we love it.
Because
yes. Halo 2 as well.
Yes.
So that's coming. So watch for those events coming to the event calendar probably by Tuesday. So I can't run Star Wars on my Comp USA desktop. Yeah, in fact, I think I said that in fact, I know I did when we were on the stream on Jedi Survivor. Like, look, you cannot go get a commercial off the shelf, like random Compaq or Dell. Do they even make Compaq anymore?
No, but they do still make Gateway.
Have we seen the South Florida store? Phil has seen the South Florida store. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. Yeah, you cannot run this game on a commercial off the shelf like random thingy. Your Chromebook is not going to run Jedi Survivor. Sorry.
Oh, Compaq got bought by HP. That makes
there
sense.
you go. Yeah.
Walmart computers are a thing, and those are pre-built, and I have heard that some of them can be decent depending on how much money you want to spend.
By the way, Costco.
Best Buy also does it, and so does Costco.
Costco and Best Buy. So I've bought 2-3 pre-builts from Best Buy / Costco, and most of the time, I have not had. There's only one time of the pre-builts. No, more than that. Shit, 5 times, 6 times. Only one time have I had to take the thing back and be like, "Give me a different one."
Fix this.
Yes.
Good.
They swapped it out.
That's awesome.
Like just, oh, we have the same model. Here, it's got to be something in the motherboard.
Yeah.
And they were like, here you go.
Which is a very common experience if you build PCs as well. Like sometimes you just get parts that don't freaking work.
Yep. And so it would boot. It would do all the things that you would normally test as part of the QA process to make sure it can go out the door. There were some issues in the motherboard, and literally, I walked into Best Buy and went, "It broken. Here's what broke it." And they were like, "Here's a new one. Take the brand, the same computer, right? Same model," and they just handed me a new one. Costco frequently has decent pre-builts. iMacs. The last game I tried to play on my iMac that played decently was StarCraft 2.
That's cute.
I did have StarCraft 2 for the iMac, and it ran just fine. But at the time, I had a very powerful iMac. But you don't run you're not running Crysis on an iMac.
I'm sorry, I was flashing back to having StarCraft 2 on all of the band halls computers. The people would go sneak in and play StarCraft for their music writing time. Guys, this is
Apple triggered you?
Alex is going for the throat today.
I got some iPhone right here.
It's an apple a day keeps the doctor away, George.
Sharing the Ghost Recon disc in typing class. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
man.
when I was in junior high, we had this, what was the name of this first-person shooter? So this would have been 1996, 97, and we had this one that was loaded on all of our Macs at the school. No, it was, No, it was, hang on. It's going to come back to me, but it allowed you to make custom maps. And so we actually made a custom map of our school. Our junior high, because we were little edgelords.
Right.
Remember when people used to have a generic CD key so people could LAN? Yeah, that was nice. It was also nice when you actually owned your digital material, but we'll save that for another day. Just remember, it's a long-term lease if you buy it on Steam.
Hey! But if you go to GOG, you can get the key and not actually do a long-term lease.
That's true. All right.
That's it.
Well,
I think we're done.
We did some spicy time.
Remember owning things.
We'll see you. Do you remember owning
Bye,
things?
folks.
I don't know. I'm a millennial. I'll never own a house. It's fine. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Come check us out. We do have plenty of events this week as well. I heard that we're counter-programming our Pokemon VGC tournament against the Oregon Regionals. We will get another one on the calendar. Don't you worry. That is something that Alex and I are doing today, and we will be making sure that this May is awesome because, again, May 1st. It's going to be May. Drink some water.
It's going to be May. It is May.
It's May.
Bye. We're singing the song. Singing songs.
It is currently May.
Oh, my God.